In 2012, Time Will Tell Theatre were commissioned to produce a play celebrating the Olympics, which were coming to London for the third time. Our light-hearted look at the history of the Olympic Games, from ancient times to the present day, looked at the origin of the Olympics in Greece and the contribution to the Olympic ideal of events at the London Games of 1908 and 1948. These extracts from the original, called Gold, take a light-hearted look at the origin of the Games and two notable moments from its history. Welcome to the Oracle of Delphi, ancient Greece, some 3,000 years ago. It is the year 776, and King Hipperson of the city of Elis has come here to the most famous of all the ancient Greek oracles to ask the high priestess to beg a favour of the gods.
Oh, great and all-knowing oracle, I, King Hipperson of Elis, have come to beg a favour of the gods.
King Hipperson, the gods hear you. How may they help?
I have travelled across Greece. I have sacrificed many an oxen in the temple, and now I ask that Zeus, the most powerful of all gods, will hear my plea.
How may Zeus aid his loyal servant?
Well, it's like this. Greece is in chaos. Over 750 separate states are fighting each other. Trade ruined. Our young men are at each other's throats. People are frightened of the soldiers, the crops are rotting in the fields, and now to top it all, a plague. I was wondering if Zeus might have any bright ideas to sort of stop it.
King Hipperson, I will go to the temple of Zeus and ask your question. Wait here. I won't be long. Don't touch anything. The great god Zeus has heard your plea and asks this of King Hipperson. Have you ever thought of holding a national sporting event?
What? No, not really. Would that help?
Great Zeus commands that every 4 years at the second full moon after the summer solstice by the sacred sanctuary of Olympia and his temple, your people should hold an athletics competition open to all Greeks.
Right. Great. Oh, thank you.
Oh, do go. There's more. 1 month either side of the games, there will be a divine truce. All wars will stop. The whole of Greece will be at peace.
Go tell that to the Spartans.
You will be a judge of the games, which will consist of a running race. To qualify, a runner must prove he's a free-born Greek and that he hasn't committed murder or sacrilege.
Right. Anything else?
Plenty. There will be prayers and sacrifices to great Zeus.
Sacrifices. Right. Anything else?
Great Zeus the Almighty says. That is all for now. Any questions?
Well, I don't want to be a fly in the olive oil, but the Temple of Olympia is at least 40 miles from my city and about 200 miles from Athens, with no facilities as such. In the summer, the rivers dry up and the flies take over. Are you sure anyone is going to want to go there?
Zeus the All-Powerful says, if you build it, they will come.
Right. Great. Well, I suppose I better crack on then. Oh, thanks Zeus for his help.
And so it was that the Olympic Games were born in a sleepy backwater of ancient Greece some 3,000 years ago. Over the next 11 centuries, the Olympic Games have become the most famous sporting event in the ancient world. Every 4 years, 40,000 Greek sports fans would make the arduous pilgrimage to Mount Olympus to watch athletes from all over Greece compete. In time, the Games grew into a 5-day event where spectators could witness sports such as running, jumping, wrestling, boxing, javelin, discus, the 4-horse chariot race, and the infamous pancration. A successful athlete at the Olympic Games could find themselves catapulted into the A-list of ancient Greek sporting celebrities. Ancient Greek sports fans, welcome to the Hippodrome and the mayhem and carnage that is the 4-horse chariot race, the ultimate demonstration of skill and danger, the sport of kings, all of the risks, none of the health and safety.
The charioteers are pros hired in, the chariots brightly coloured, and the horses thoroughbred. It costs a fortune.
40 chariots and their charioteers enter the Hippodrome, a field with 2 stone pillars at either end to signal the turning points. A special device, the aphesis, acts as a starting gate.
The charioteers hold the reins in their right hand and a whip in their left.
A trumpet sounds. The aphesis rises. And the charioteers thunder down the Hippodrome. The crowd go wild with excitement. They watch in amazement. Some of them choose to stand close to the stone pillars where the crashes are most likely to happen.
The charioteers have to survive 12 laps. That's 24 turns.
The course is around 6 miles long and it takes about a quarter of an hour to complete.
But that quarter of an hour demands all of a charioteer's concentration if they are just to survive. In the noise, the chaos, and the dust, chariots are thrown into the air, horses go mad, and charioteers are flung to the ground to be dragged, mangled, and trampled.
Attendants rush on to clear the crashed and the crushed out of the way. The charioteers have to find a path through all the chaos.
A trumpet call announces the last turn. Sometimes only 1 or 2 chariots are left as they race around the last turn into the home straight.
A moment lack of concentration and a chariot crashes out. By a miracle, it stops short of the screaming crowd.
As the winning chariot crosses the line, the crowd go mad, especially those lucky enough to have money on the winner.
The winning charioteer will have a statue erected in their honour. But the real winner is the owner of the horses. They now have the most valuable breeding stock in ancient Greece. So they're going to throw a lavish party that evening. And at the awards ceremony, it is they who will pick up the victor's laurel wreath. So, where is the owner of this fine team of horses?
At the London Olympics of 1908, a true sporting spectacle occurred.
The marathon, a long-distance endurance race of just over 26 miles. It had been introduced in 1896 to the Games.
It had captured the public imagination like no other event.
55 competitors from 16 nations in regulation shorts and jerseys.
At 2:33 p.m. precisely, Queen Mary starts the race. And the competitors pass the statue of Queen Victoria, Tom Longboat in the lead.
On past Eton School, and Britain are in the lead. 5 miles in, Britain are first, second and third, with a little Italian in 4th place.
News of the leaders is telephoned through to the stadium every 5 minutes. The day is hot and humid, the road hard as flint.
In Uxbridge, at the 9-mile mark, Britain are first and second, Hipperson third, and just behind him, the Italian Pietri. Tom Longboat is up near the front.
At Pinner Gasworks, 15 miles in, some competitors are collapsing from exhaustion. Hepron has the lead. 10 minutes behind him, Pietri and Longboat run neck and neck.
At the 20-mile mark, the Indian Wonder sees off the Italian baker for second place and closes with Hipperson on a long, straight stretch of road. The sun beats down.
Then, disaster! Tom Longboat throws up his arms and collapses. The Italian Pietri staggers on into second place. The American Johnny Hayes moves into third.
At the 24-mile mark, Charles Hepburn has a commanding lead of 1 mile. He pauses for a glass of champagne offered by a well-wisher and continues on his way. Wormwood Scrubs comes into view. Only 1 mile to go.
Then, disaster! The champagne gives Hepburn cramp. His stride slows until he is barely moving. Dorando Pietri staggers on, his eyes glazed and the gap is closing.
Within sight of the domes and turrets of White City Stadium, Hepburn slows to a walk. Dorando Pietri closes in, his limping gait energised. In the stadium, 100,000 spectators wait. Nobody knows who is winning.
And then, at the gates, a lone figure staggers into view in the stadium. He pauses, and the crowd erupt into cheers.
Cheers change to groans as Pietri collapses. He crawls to his feet again and totters on.
Race officials circle round. 100 yards to go. The last bend before the finishing tape.
He stumbles and falls again. This time, race officials catch and support him. Now he is yards from the tape.
In his delirium, he is unaware that the American Hayes has entered the stadium and is closing fast. Willing himself on, he totters forwards, breaks the tape and collapses.
The Italian flag is hoisted over the stadium. The crowd are making so much noise that when Johnny Hayes crosses the finishing line, people barely notice. Charles Hepburn comes in third.
Almost immediately, American officials complain about the official interference. Italian officials complain that their man was assisted against his wishes. But it is no good.
Dorando Pietri is disqualified later that evening, but it is his heroic effort the crowd remember. He has won over not only the public, but also the royal family. At the awards ceremony, Queen Alexandra presents him with a silver cup, and postcards of him holding it are sold by the thousands.